Josiah Franklin, formerly of Ecton, late of Banbury, had landed in Boston in 1683 after 8 weeks on the ocean with a wife, Anne, and 3 children, Elizabeth 5, Samuel 2, and Hannah a baby. He had joined the Old South Meeting House, whose pastor, Samuel Willard, had seen his last church in the town of Groton burned to the ground by Indians. Government, he preached, is God's ordinance. Josiah held prayer meetings at his house. "I was moved last night at Mr. Josiah Franklin's," his neighbor Samuel Sewell wrote in his diary. "I got Brother Franklin to set the tune, which he did very well. He had a beautiful voice." He had settled in a crooked, noisy city of 10,000 souls, ruled by the King of Kings. In the winter it was dark and it was cold, colder than anyone raised in England had ever known. He died, but more often he made candles to light the night. He made soap. He tinkered. His family grew. In 1689, his wife died after being brought to bed for the 7th time. Then he, a widower with 5 young children, 2 of their children had died in infancy, sailed to Cape Cod to buy mutton fat from a sheep farmer to make tallow for candles. On the boat ride home, he met the venturesome daughter of a dissident. When Abiah Folger moved from Nantucket to Boston to become Josiah Franklin's wife, she brought with her a root of mint from her mother's garden and planted it in the yard of her husband's house. "Let no changes change you," Peter Folger told his children. 5 months after the wedding, she was pregnant. "All things within this fading world hath end," the Boston poet Anne Bradstreet wrote in Before the Birth of One of Her Children. Men waged wars, but for women each birth was another battle. No woman dared imagine herself spared, not by grace, not by wealth. Pain was her portion. Even if she survived childbirth, she could scarcely expect that her child would. Queen Anne, who ascended to the throne in 1702, was pregnant 17 times. 6 of her pregnancies ended in miscarriage, 6 in stillbirth. 1 son and daughter, the little prince and princess of Denmark and Norway, died the day they were born. Anne Sophia, not yet 1, was carried away by smallpox, along with her sister Mary, not yet 2. William reached 10 only to be taken. All the king's horses and all the king's men. None could save the queen's children. Abiah Folger Franklin fared far better than her queen. In 1703, when no one was looking, one of her toddlers fell into a tub. Ebenezer Franklin of the South Church, a male infant of 16 months old, was drowned in a tub of suds, Samuel Sewell wrote in his diary. And Thomas, not yet 3, died in 1706. But in 1712, when Abiah was pregnant again, she had given birth to 9 children, and 7 had survived. Her 10th would be her last. "She suckled all her 10 children," is nearly all that Benjamin Franklin ever wrote about his mother. She stitched, prayed, read, butchered, cooked, washed, scrubbed, tended her garden, boiled soap, and dipped candles, and on the darkest day of her life, she fished one of her sons, slippery as an eel, out of a tub of suds. But it was the suckling that Franklin remembered, his mother, with a baby at her breast. To suck was to live. "My wife sat up, and he sucked the right breast bravely, that had the best nipple," Sewell wrote in his diary, with pride and relief, after the birth of his first child. "You will suckle your infant yourself if you can. Be not such an ostrich as to decline it," Increase Mather's son Cotton preached from his pulpit at Boston's North Church. Through the second summer was wisest. That meant mothers weaned their infants at somewhere between a year and 16 months, sending them away to bleat under someone else's roof. Or they went on a weaning journey and left their children at home. or they rubbed mustard or worm.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.